Hey everybody, Charlie902 here, and welcome back to Pentiment. We last left off, well, the Baron Rothvogel was murdered. By who we don't know yet. We have a few suspicions and a few leads, but right now the abbot is blaming Brother Piero. So we're taking a few minutes to eat some sausage, some cheese, drink some wine, or whatever it is they drank back then, water I guess, and eat some bread, and tell everybody about the gruesome murder scene. We didn't see the murder, but we saw the murder scene. Maybe I've been reading you too many scary stories. But if it wasn't Brother Piero, who do you think could have done it? I did see Lucky Steinauer get into a shouting argument with Lorenz yesterday just before I walked by your place. It was Lucky. That's what I was thinking in my mind, but I don't want to commit to that. Lucky? Why would he have cause to shout at a nobleman? I doubt Lucky did it because he was talking with the priest about the foundations. I kind of feel like if you were angry enough to ambush and kill a man, you wouldn't be able to compose yourself well enough to talk to the priest about the foundations of the church. Though that is a good cover. Select a food item to eat. Well, if this were me, I would start with the sausage. Oh, it's egg pasta. Okay, egg pasta, sausage, and farmer's bread. Man, all of that sounds good, but we're going sausage first. One bite, whole thing. There's probably something else going on that you wouldn't know about deer. What do you mean by that? I'm not one to trade gossip, but here's some gossip. If you really want to know, talk to some of the other women in town. Our Mother Cecilia up at the Abbey. Could it have something to do with the nuns? Why Mother Cecilia? Didn't realize she saw much of Tassing. Could it have something to do with the nuns? But would Lucky argue with Lorenz about nuns? Oh, there's no need for that. Lucky is a forthright man. I'm sure if you ask him, he'll tell you what the argument was about. Thank you both. That's good advice. There's something else, though. When Lorenz and I were walking through the meadow, the widow Kempirin came out of the woods and... Oh, that's the old lady, right? Yes? Well, she cursed him. Not surprised. Attilia's late husband, Randig, ran afoul of Lorenz on his last visit to Tassing. I don't remember the details, but Randig died just last year, and Attilia has been the same since. Let's go pasta. She was always an old bitch. All right, Klaus, tell us how you really feel. Even before she was old. Klaus, that's enough. She has to deal with the job's lot in life. And now she lives alone at the edge of the woods. There are rumors that she's going to lose her property soon. Maybe that wasn't Job's lot. Maybe that was Job, like in the Bible, where basically he had just a tough life. Everything taken away from him because he was the subject of a bet between God and the devil. Now she lives all alone at the edge of the woods. There are rumors she's going to lose her property soon. Have we seen her property? I do pity her, even if she is a bitter woman. There should be some exception in the law for her to inherit. It seems like it would be more just, yes, I agree. Wasn't always this way. I think my great-grandmother inherited this land way back when. Well, if men changed it, they can change it back. You're right as always, my dear. Enough about Attilia. Is there anyone else you think may have done it? I don't know if he has any ill intent, but Prior Fernick has been acting strangely since the day Lorenz has arrived. Now, these statements that I'm saying here at this meal, are they based upon my exploration from before? Or are they just predetermined, he's going to say these people are suspects off the bat anyway? Please let me know in the comments if you know. Perhaps an academic disagreement? I know they're both avid readers, both of classics and of new works. It is suspect that the book that the prior, or was it might have been the abbot, that the abbot wanted to see just so happens to be the one that's missing. On his last visit, the Baron bought a book on astronomy from me. I know the prior has some similar interests. prior, okay. But would the prior kill someone over a simple disagreement? It's not that outlandish. When I was in university, I saw men throw punches over small academic concerns. It's not the disagreement. It's probably that the prior is trying to hide something. Clearly, where the body is found is making a statement as well. And we do know the prior is involved in the occult. Granted, I was very drunk at the time, but I think that's what the argument was about. Of course, rapscallion. What is an opinion for some is a testament of faith for others and worth killing for. You know what? That is a good line right there. What is an opinion for some is a testament of faith for others and worth killing for. Man, ain't that the history of the world, right? Granted. What is an opinion for some? All right, so we just said the rapscallion comment, but it really doesn't have an effect, right? That may be so, but I've never seen that sort of anger in Prior Fenric. Not even when Gernot was made abbot instead of him. So Ferenic, if I can say this right, is the prior. Gernot's abbot. I need to remember that. Afterwards, he seemed bitter but never violent. That just doesn't seem to be a part of his character. So, Lucky, the widow, the abbey prior, anyone else? There's something strange when you approach the abbot together, or excuse me, the abbey together. Mother Cecilia was outside with some of the sisters. Mother Cecilia scowled and took the nuns inside without saying a word. Sounds like they have a history at least. I'm also thinking Martin may have a hand in it, but I think we're meant to think that. Let's eat some bread. I do not know Mother Cecilia personally, but I've never heard anyone speak badly of her. If she has cause to dislike the Baron, I must believe she had good reason. I don't think you hear people speak badly of her because she's a prominent figure in the church and you're a blasphemer if you do, right? Well, Andres, it sounds like there's a lot to look into. Thank you for talking to me. I was feeling overwhelmed. Thank you for your care. It's helped me understand how I can help Piero. Has it, though? You know what? Let's make this one about me. We were feeling overwhelmed. We needed a moment. You're always welcome here, Andres, anytime. Yeah! You're especially welcome with this one. God be with you, Andres. Thank you, and God be with you. Thank you. Be good until I come back, Bertolt. I'll try. All right. It is now time. Ooh, 2 days remain. So we got to figure this out in 2 days. How long is this game, by the way? I actually don't know. I'll have to look that up in between episodes. I don't imagine it being super long. I have several leads to follow, but where should I start? I could talk to Lucky Steinauer. He's probably working in front of his house. The widow Kemprian lives south of here near Franz Bauer. Prior Fernick is usually at the scriptorium, but I won't be able to talk to him until tomorrow. Still, nothing would prevent me from talking to Mother Cecilia in the convent. If I don't attend Brother Florian's examination of the body at the Abbey, he'll have to do it without me. Alright. 4 suspects. I would think there's more. Can I start with examining the body? I feel that if we can determine cause of death and other details, it would help us when we talk to these suspects. That's just me. I'm hoping that when we go look at the body, we don't like move time and then force ourselves to lose a whole day of exploration. Throw stone, because we live in a glass house. That was instant. Andreas, this way. So why is he having us examine the body? Does he know that we're learned and that's why? There you are. I'm glad the storm didn't delay you. Now, even though I gave instructions that I was not to be disturbed, we must work quickly. Seeing a corpse up close can be unsettling for some. I hope you're up to it. Hopefully, because we ate, we're not going to throw up. I've studied medicine for a while in university. We saw dead bodies. I'll be fine. Seeing a dead body is different from examining one directly. Now then, you should probably take notes as we go. They may be useful later, of course. Relax and take notes while I take tokes of the dead body smoke. I will begin by inspecting his anterior, starting with the face and head. So anterior is the front and posterior is the back, right? No visible wounds, no blemishes, teeth in good condition, nothing unusual. So nothing on the face, nothing on the hands. Neck, shoulders, and chest are ordinary. I need to clean some blood away to examine the torso. Yes, there it is, a puncture wound between the 6th and 7th ribs. Are we drawing this? It's fairly shallow, though. I estimate it penetrated only about an inch, and it likely came from his own hand. Hold on a second. An inch is not going to be enough to kill him. 2nd and 4th rib. Inch may puncture the lung. But even then, So he wouldn't have died quickly if that was the case. Yeah, we all are drawing. So this is like a Jesus thing here, right? Wait, he inflicted it on himself? How can you tell? But that doesn't sound deep enough to have killed him. A Nuremberg inch or an Innsbruck inch? That is a fair question. Like, what kind of an inch are we talking about? It is a fairly wide gash, though. Doesn't sound deep enough to have killed him. It wasn't. It's likely incidental, received while falling on his own knife. So he was defending himself. He must have some other wound that issued forth all the blood we found him in. Back of his head, maybe? Blunt object? Professor Mustard with the candelabra in the library? Was it Professor Mustard? Colonel Mustard, not Professor Mustard. It surely must mean that Brother Piero is innocent. Well, no. That doesn't mean he's innocent. What do you think? Who do you think killed him? Well, let's find out what happened first. I don't know. I can't even speculate. All I can do is examine this body and hope that you figure out the rest. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Simply pointing out the implausibility of Brother Piero's striking the fatal blow may not be enough to convince the Archdeacon. Brother Piero never should have picked up that knife. I'm sure the appearance of guilt never even crossed his mind. Now then, let's move on. Well, there's a sore on his sex. Probably from the French disease. I doubt it had anything to do with his murder. Poor dude, that can't be fun. The disease French soldiers received in the brothels of Naples. Yes, how did you know of it? We discussed it in university. Also, I was a rapscallion. Ah, yes, it's spreading rapidly, even north of the Alps. The treatment is dire as it involves heavy mercury consumption. Oh my God. Anyway, it seems the Baron was not the most faithful husband, not uncommon among nobility. I would expect a monk to be more shocked by this. He seems to have quite the past with the eye patch and everything, right? Let's not judge him. Let's just say nothing right now. Moving down. Other than a few blisters on his feet from what I assume are new shoes, there's nothing wrong with his legs. Andres, could you help me to turn him over? Of course. I'm a man of science and learnedness and the occult. It's got to be a wound to the back of his head, right? There's a slight irregularity in his spine, possibly from an old injury. I don't think it has anything to do with how he died, though. How could that have happened? Thrown from his horse, maybe? I have no idea. Whatever the reason, it didn't contribute to his death. Here it is, a rather dramatic head wound. The dark hair and blood make it difficult to see, but it's quite bad. In my experience, I've never seen someone walk away from a head wound of this severity. I imagine the force of the impact would have been quite great to crack the skull. Quite right. I see your medical training was not forgotten. I lack the benefit of university study, but the battlefields of Poland and Lithuania did provide an education of sorts. Fun fact, I actually spent 9 months in Lithuania. I was not a fan. Nothing against Lithuania or the people, but the situation I was in COVID lockdown, living inside of shipping containers on a military post. So that's what kind of colored my opinion of my time there. That, and it was, I was mostly snowed in pretty much the whole time, as well as being on COVID lockdown. And I don't like the cold. I'd rather be treated by someone with experience than a novice with a university education. Why didn't you study medicine in a university? Probably because he didn't have the opportunity. He just said he was battlefields, right? Wish I'd finished my degree. I could be of more use to you now. There's no need to despair. Many hands would make more work in this instance. The wound looks like it was caused by a single powerful blow from a blunt object, probably no more than 4 or 5 inches across. 4 or 5 inches across blunt object. Well, they don't have ball bats back then. They did have clubs. Hammer? Battle hammer? Mace? How can you tell? The skull is cracked at a single spot, and there's a clear impression on the skin around it. It would take extraordinary precision to hit the same spot twice unless the Baron were already dead. It's likely he didn't die immediately. How long could he have survived for? I've seen similar injuries in battle. The victims don't last more than a few minutes, but it's an agonizing death. Even so, he couldn't have wandered far from where the blow was first struck. So he may not have been attacked in the chapter house. True. He was either attacked in the chapter house or someplace in the immediate area. Could he have been attacked outside the abbey? I doubt it. Big garden, church, cloister. Yes, that's possible. The cloister connects directly to the chapter house, but there's a high risk of being seen. Anyway, whatever killed the Baron was a blunt instrument of considerable heft. The part that impacted him was likely a little smaller than a fist. All right, whoever did this got the jump on them. That's the way to do it. A blow to the head unaware. I'd say 2 to 2.5 inches around. That's fine. But let's say this. He was attacked unawares. Unfortunately, I have to agree with you. I suppose that he was struck, drew his knife to defend himself, and fell on it before Brother Piero discovered him. So I believe we discovered 2 important things. The Baron was killed by... So we could say Piero didn't stab the Baron, and even if he had, that isn't what killed him. But I think the Baron was killed by a blow to the head from a heavy blunt object. Well, that's the 2 things, right? Yes, exactly. If you can find what caused the blow, it may lead you to the killer. We also know that Piero didn't stab the Baron. We know that, and I suspect even the abbot knows that, but you may need more evidence to convince the archdeacon. Oh, there's one other item of interest. I found it in the Baron's jacket, but didn't want to open it without you. Open it, you say? A note of some kind. I trust you to open it more carefully than I would. German. Das Mädchen, das starb und des Unschuldig. I'm sorry for all you native German speakers out there, Deutsch speakers. All right, let's see if I can do any type of the something, and the something with ear. I can't speak enough Deutsch for that. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, nur ein bisschen. And I can't read Deutsch at all either. Oh, man, I should be able to read this. I'm German, right? Oh, here we go. The girl who died in the Innocent Wither Martin's chapter. This isn't one for one. It's not like these words exactly do this. This is and the Innocent Wither. Actually, no, it might be one for one. Maiten's chapter. So Maiten's is the hour he was killed, or at least the hour we thought he's killed. Chapter's the chapter house. The girl who died, and the Innocent Wither. What girl? What girl are we talking about? The girl? What girl? And what innocent? One of the nuns. Someone from the village? Your guess is as good as mine. We are saying this with a question mark. I'm going to say one of the nuns. It's been years since any of the nuns have died. Perhaps Mother Cecilia would remember? Can you tell who wrote it? Maybe the girl didn't die. Maybe Martin sexually assaulted someone and killed their innocence, and the girl has died and become a woman. Maybe it was Mother Cecilia. Maybe it was her. Maybe he raped her. And maybe it happened in the chapter house, and maybe that's what... I don't know. Curious, right? It's definitely someone with a great deal of experience as a scribe, but it can't be Adok or Guy. They're not an Italian, I can tell you that. Italian scribes use humanist script. This is highly refined Gothic hand. It's really cool looking. As good as Adok and Guy are, I don't think they could replicate this. So we're looking for someone German. Would it be German back then? I don't think it would, right? Is it Prussian back then? I don't know. I'm bad with history. You guys correct me. What really, if not them, who? I intend to find out. Wish you good luck finding the answer now. Sorry to rush you, but I must ask you to leave. Every minute you stay is an additional risk. Hide. Brother Florian, could you open up? It's Werner Stoltz, the physician from Tassing. Yes, I'm in the middle of something. Could you return after supper? Afraid it can't wait. Father Gounod asked me to examine the Baron's body. All right, just give me a moment. Andreas, I need you to hide yourself. We'll go ahead and hide, of course. That's not a good place to hide. Ah, Dr. Stoltz, sorry to keep you waiting. Now, what did you need? The abbot wanted me to examine the Baron's body before his wife arrives. Seems unnecessary at this point, as I've just completed my own examination. Well, then what's the harm in letting me take a look? Dr. Stoltz, with all respect, I've finished the cause of death is clear. If you had arrived an hour ago, I would have had no problem with your assistance. Assistance? I'm a university-trained physician. I can examine a corpse on my own without the help of a battlefield sawbones. Remain hidden. Regardless of your opinions regarding my abilities, the examination is finished. If you insist on inspecting the body anyways, I must insist that the abbot tells me himself. What? Making me bring the abbot here is a waste of time. So is performing an examination on this corpse immediately after one was just completed. Idiotic. I'll return with Father Gounod presently. Get out, dude. That was close. Now quickly leave through the cloister before they return. Of course, thank you, Brother Florian. Think nothing of it. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then. I don't know if it was a good idea for us to hide, but I don't see the harm in it either. Eat. Work. Eat. Sleep. Occult hands. Connect the symbols. I should find someone to eat with. Oh, wait a minute. Did we just miss the ability to investigate other people? Did I screw this up? No, I just think we have a few days to do this. But I wanted to find the cause of death first. During dinner, Klaus and Marie, we talked to 4 people who seemed to have a problem with the Baron Lucky Steinauer, the widow Kimpurin, Mother Cecilia, and Prior Fernick. Should talk to each of them to see if any of them truly have a motive to kill a man. I would think Mother Cecilia is top of my list right now. Brother Florian asked me to be present during the inspection of the Baron's body. Alternatively, I can begin my investigation by following my other leads. Abbott doesn't want me around, so if I decide to go see Brother Florian, I'll have to get his attention by throwing a small rock at the window of the infirmary, which I did. Should find someone to share supper with. Most of the families in town are welcoming. Lady Salamia may also want to speak with me after she arrives at Abby's guest house. Maybe I could even visit Smokey in the forest. Can't get that note out of my head. The girl who died and the innocent wither. What could it mean and who wrote it? She could have actually died, too, and then that would kill innocence as well. Shrine. Let's look in the shrine. Was he killed with the hand? A reliquary containing the hand of St. Moritz, which is said to have once held the Holy Lance. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. Doesn't the story of crucifixion go that the Roman soldiers stabbed Jesus basically in the same place as the Baron stabbed himself? I could be mistaken that as well. I will have to look that up. Or you guys can tell me. Let's talk to these guys. Elizabeth. God bless you. That's all you're going to say. Gertrude. Bless you. You're the blind one, Margaret. Master Mailer. Yes, it's me, sister. Do you think Brother Pierre really murdered the Baron? No, of course not. Oh, then why did Father Abbot have him put it in the cellar? I don't know the answer to that, Sister Margaret. I'm sorry. Father Abbot is afraid of what will happen if we can't figure out who the killer really is. That's the answer, and I'm going to say it. Do you think the devil could appear here at Kiersau? No, I think people see the devil where they want to see him. I didn't see the devil, but I think I smelled his odor. Last night, I woke before Martin's, and I smelled something in our dormitory. It was strange. Moss and sulfur mixed with frankincense and roses. It moved through the room. I wanted to scream, but I was too frightened, and it was gone. I'm ashamed that I didn't cry out, but I didn't know what to do. I don't know that I would have done any better, sister. That's small comfort, but thank you. Thank you, Sister Margaret. Bless you, Master Mailer. God bless you. So, something happened in the nuns area. Bless you. Matilda, bless you, Master Mailer. Tell you what, I do want to speak to the Smoky. Let's go to the convent garden. Let's start over to the right here. Anything in here? Sister Gertrude dries and stores all of her herbs here. Frankincense and roses, maybe. Frankincense is what they brought little baby Jesus to, right? Wise men. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh, right? All right. The doors in the convent are locked to outsiders, men at least. I want to talk to Cecilia, but I'm not seeing her. This is her house, right? She in here? No. Store must lead to the rest of the convent, not for me. Okay, guess we can't go there. Let's go see Smokey. But we're going to do that next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or a subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.